is there reluctance on your other allies, United States, the fact that CENTCOM chief was in Tel Aviv, the fact that Lloyd Austin, U.S. Secretary of Defense, spoke to Yoav Gallant, the Israeli Defense Minister? What's America telling you? Is America telling you not to target the nuclear assets of Iran, or not to go after their oil fields, or to hold off till after elections? Is that a reason why there is delay, as is being speculated in some quarters?
Look, the US and Israel stand side by side, shoulder to shoulder. We have for generations now, for decades. In fact, the relationship between our two nations has never been closer. And that's evidenced by those two occurrences which you just mentioned, the visit of the head of CENTCOM and our discussions which our defense minister is having with his opposite number, Secretary Austin. We've been side by side in this battle. I'll tell you why. Not only because we're the only democracy in hundreds of miles in any direction, but we share the same enemy as well. And that enemy is Iran. They call us the small Satan, they call the US the big Satan. So the US understands precisely what we're facing, but ultimately it is the government of Israel's responsibility to take responsibility for the security of its own citizens. That is our primary responsibility of the government, just as it is your government in India, which means that we have a duty to our people. We have a sacred duty to defend this country. Now, Iran says very clearly they wish to wipe this country off the face of the earth. We are not going to let that happen. October the 7th was an attempt to destroy this country. The following day, on October the 8th, Hezbollah attacked us. They also had a plan called Conquer the Galilee, which also tried to repeat the October 7th massacre, but this time by Hezbollah. We know that Iran is trying to destroy this country. They only do it out of weakness. Because their control of power is so weak back home in Iran, they're doing as many Arab countries have done in the past. They use their animosity towards us as a way to hold on to power. It didn't work for other Arab nations in our region, which is why we have made more peace agreements, the Abraham Accords, which we're extremely proud of. We want to get back to that situation. The Prime Minister's made two things very clear. The first thing he said is that we're able to defend ourselves both in ways which you have seen and in ways which you have not seen yet. And the second thing he said is that the end of the Iranian regime may come quicker than you think. It's time for Iranian people to be free.
We'll be tracking that story.
This tyrannical government and this fascist Islamist-style government, which threatens them and it threatens us.
When I speak to experts and analysts in Iran, they say that the government is very clear. If there is a retaliation by Israel, Iran will strike back, and harder, much worse than what it had done last Tuesday. Point one. Point two, are you on top of the escalation ladder? Iran also says that this war won't just be vertical between Iran and Israel. It will be horizontal with other countries in the region, other Islamic countries in the region, perhaps UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Turkey, Egypt. They've not said it explicitly, but is that your apprehension? They may join Iran and make it into a wider Islamic war versus the Jews here in Israel?
Look, you use the word retaliation. That is not a word which we use here in Israel. We use the word defense. We have no interest in escalation. We will always go for diplomacy. That's our preferred option. We value peace. It's in our very DNA. If you're here right now, you understand the value we put to peace. Indeed, the word shalom, which means peace, is our daily greeting. It's the way we say hello to each other. So peace is in our very essence. But when it comes to Iran, if they don't want diplomacy, if they say very, very clearly that they wish to wipe this country off the face of the earth, then we have a duty to stand up to this menace, because make no mistake, they're going after us first, but we're only on their way to the wider world and other democracies and other freedom-loving nations. We will do our duty, and listen to me when I say we will be victorious. I'll tell you why. Because there is only one homeland for the Jewish people and the others which wish to live here with us in peace. That country is right here in Israel, the only homeland for the Jewish people in the entire globe. And the 9 or 10 million people demand that this country, as it is able, defends itself, deters the Iranian menace. We have no wish for retribution, but we have a desire for victory and defense.
Okay.
And you can be sure we take those responsibilities extremely clearly.
David Mencer for joining me here on India Today from Jerusalem. Many thanks. So, spokesperson for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu makes it very clear Israel will strike, choose a place and time of its choice.